they do.
So we're talking U.S. soccer again, MLS. What do you think about the news in the U.S. soccer camp? We've got a new interim coach. We got a new sporting director, Matt Crocker. We talked a little bit about that in the last podcast. What do you think it means that we still haven't assigned a permanent head coach, and we've assigned this guy who I've never heard of? What's his name? Dave, do you even know? Bellingham or what's it? BJ?
Oh, you mean who just took the position after
Interim,
Hudson left?
Yeah, after Hudson left for
I have no idea
no
what his name
reason.
is.
Yeah, no one even knows who he is.
I know some things about him. Just I read.
Well, why would we do this? Like, what's the rationale? He's going to oversee the summertime Nations League Cup.
Well, they had to because the interim coach left. He got clearly. They won't say where, but he got hired by someone.
Okay,
so he got
Anthony
an
Hudson
opportunity.
got an opportunity.
Yeah, he got an opportunity. He left, so they don't have a choice. He quit.
They should ignore the drama and go back to Berhalter. The drama was childish.
No, we loved it. We loved it here. All the drama.
Tyson.
BJ.
No Berhalter.
Callaghan.
No.
Why? Why not?
It was because Berhalter's never won anything.
But he got the U.S. to the World Cup, something that Jurgen Klinsmann
The U.S.
didn't do.
That's a low bar.
I mean, the chances.
But that's all that the U.S.
Not only that, but they increased the number of slots, so it was even easier. So I think that's a really, really low bar. He's not like he won the CONCACAF either. Yeah. It was Canada who won the CONCACAF.
And we don't probably ever really need to qualify ever again for the World Cup the way that it's shaken out, right?
Yeah. So first of all, in the next World Cup, we're already qualified because we're home. And second of all, now they've increased it to what? Six. It used to be a hexagonal, they would call it, the final hex to see who would get in. Now they just can't even do that anymore because there's six that get in. If you had a hexagonal, you'd play six and then everybody get in. Right? So that's ridiculous. So I mean, my problem with Berhalter is his record is
The U.S. should go hard for Jose Mourinho after he wins tomorrow afternoon. And then
I thought we were going to get, I didn't.
Zidane?
No, I thought we could make a run at Tuchel because he was going to get fired as Bayern Munich coach because there was no way they were winning the title. That's what I said.
You did say that.
They won the title. So maybe he saved his job. Yeah. The sporting director, Oliver Kahn, the old German goalkeeper for Bayern Munich, he got fired.
Oh, we did. They have to get rid of somebody.
They got someone at head roll, and we'll see whether the coach survives.
Dave, you're a big fan of Caleb Porter being a candidate for the job, right?
Yeah. I don't really know that much about him, of course, as a coach, but I just know his record.
Regular season, 123 wins, 18 draws, 17 losses. So he's got like an 83% winning in the NCAA.
Yeah. He won a champion.
Akron, and then
at Akron, people, he won a national champion. Have you anybody ever heard of Akron before he came through? No. And then they won an NCAA champion. You think, okay, NCAA champion, UCLA, Indiana, blah, blah, blah. No.
National championships, 2010 Portland Timbers.
Yep.
Regular season in the MLS, he's got like a 61% winning percentage, 70 wins, 40. Is the middle one draws these days?
It's wins, draws, and losses.
Yeah, so 44 draws, 36 losses, but 70 wins as an MLS regular. An MLS Cup, Western Conference champions, 2013-15, Columbus Crew. Campeones Cup, MLS Cup win. Yeah, I mean, he's got all sorts of good.
He's won the MLS Cup with two. So to me, he's a cup specialist. Right. So I have no idea. I haven't followed exactly. I mean, he's been fired from the last two places that he coached after winning the MLS title. So, so he won it in Portland and got fired. And then he won it in Columbus and got fired. And so, you got to say that's worrisome that he gets fired. He wears out his welcome. But as a cup specialist, winning in tournaments, which is what the MLS is, which is what the NCAA is, which is what the World Cup is.
Yeah. So do you think do you think it's a good sign at least that we've got an interim coach? It means Crocker's at least extending his search beyond Jesse Marsch?
Thank God. I mean, one of the things I'll say is that finally there are other names being mentioned. And I think it was on MLS Extra where they were agreeing that how could you possibly run a search in this, with what happened without saying that we did our due diligence. We interviewed multiple people. They were,
right.
I mean, this is what I was saying before, because all we heard was Jesse Marsh, Jesse Marsh, Jesse Marsh. And I'm like, if you hire Jesse Marsh without us hearing legitimate other names, even if you interviewed them behind the scenes, that is crazy, right? You can't possibly do that, right? So now we've heard a few number names, and they have said that it's going. He just came in, so we thought he was going to come in, hire Jesse Marsh like a couple of weeks later. That's not true, clearly, which is awesome. Good on him. He's going to take through the summer to do it. And so the rumors are now that, maybe Jesse Marsh isn't even the favorite. So that's
way
better.
That's what I figured you would take it. I took it as a good sign that we're going to do our due diligence instead of rushing to, we have to have a coach for no reason.
Yes.
Okay.
So even if you end up at Jesse Marsh, and we talked about the possibility of the positives behind Jesse Marsh too, even if you end up at Jesse Marsh, then you've done your due diligence, then you can at least say, all right.
You think Tata's going to be a candidate that they'll talk to?
Should be.
Because, I mean, he speaks English well enough at this point.
For sure.
Because that's one of the requirements. You have to speak English.
Yes.
That's only that's only a new requirement, because when we qualified, in the U.S., when we first got out of our group under Bora Multitunovic, he didn't speak almost a word of English.
Yeah.
Right. He was our head coach. Right. So that's just we want our coaches to be able to speak English.
And you have to live in Chicago.
Yeah. Which is also
it's crazy.
Who has to live in Chicago? The coach, the
whole
people?
crew.
Yeah.
Really? They need to open that up.
It's crazy.
But do you think the rest, we love Tata because, he won us a championship. What about the rest of the U.S.? Like Tyson was saying, would we hire our rival for that job?
And he's a little bit damaged goods from CONCACAF because, Mexico flared out in the World Cup.
Yeah. But they had their own issues. But
yeah, I would argue that,
I mean, he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, that's right. I pulled up his record. I mean, his record speaks for itself.
Right.
Yep. We talked about it in Atlanta United last podcast. But I just think that another U.S. former national team player, Jesse Marsh, really? Do we have to?
No, we don't.
Why can't we get a coach who has won something?
That's cool.
Right?
I like winning.
What about first-time coach? I think DeMarcus Beasley might be a good coach.
No.
He can't even commentate.
No.
You have to have a resume.
I thought he was a good commentator. That's why I thought he might be a good coach and the experience. All those years in MLS.
We're trying to get away from that whole brotherhood.
Experimental and the brotherhood. Yeah. I mean, you could go with a former national team player who wasn't that big, Steve Cherundolo, who has now won an MLS Cup title, And now I don't think the LAFC is going to get rid of him mid-season. They're doing amazingly well.
Beasley would have to go on and have years of coaching before that's even
because all the U.S. national team coaches they hire for the U.S. 20 and all these things, Tab Ramos being the glaring example, and they suck.
Yeah.
They lose really
even
badly.
someone like Josh Wolf, right? Let's say his resume over the next 5 years becomes a winning resume.
Where is he now? He had that amazing season for Austin last year, and now they're
no good.
Not so good.
Right. So you have to let the data play out before you make a call like that.
Score prediction on the CONCACAF Champions League Leg 1 tomorrow. What do you think?
I think why do I keep saying? I say LAFC wins it, and we win 2 years in a row. Right.
I didn't realize that's happening tomorrow, huh?
Well, it's 2 legs. The first leg's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it's in America.
Yeah. So last year we won with Seattle, first time in forever, really in the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about the CONCACAF Champions League has been criticized because of the timing of it. It's terrible for us. It's beginning of the season. It's mid-season for them, whatever. But anyway, we're about to have the Leagues Cup.
When does that start?
It starts in July, right?
Okay. So we're only almost a month away.
Yeah, we're a month away from the awesomeness that is the Leagues
Cup.
Cup.
Can you explain to me one more time? I'm going to say it's for the listeners who don't know, but it's really for me. The Leagues Cup.
It is.
What exactly? How is it like?
The MLS, every team in the MLS versus every team in Liga MX are put into group stages just like the World Cup.
Got it.
Right? So they're mixed up in a bucket just the way that you do the draw in the World Cup.
Okay.
So Atlanta United is in a group of 4. I think we're
Yep.
with Inter Miami.
There are some buys. I think if you're Liga MX or MLS champion, you
Yeah.
get a buy right through the group stage. But
Okay.
yeah, but it
But-
includes every single team.
Yeah, so there's some pass-throughs with accolades of winning stuff, but Atlanta United, I think we're in a group of 4, which includes Inter Miami and 2 Liga MX teams.
Okay.
So again, the best 2 teams exit that group to be in the knockout rounds.
Got it.
So it works just like the World Cup. Pretty neat. I mean, it's going to be, you know, a lot of soccer on Apple TV.
Mhm.
You know, you'll be able to sit down and binge it. Should be fun.